Would you please rise for our national anthem, led by Brittany Berry, Caitlin Kelly, Calvin Horner, and Quentin Bonds, students in the Department of Music.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the everlasting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Please welcome Mr. Geoffrey Standen, the Dean of the Chase College of Law, to the podium.
Good evening. To our accomplished faculty in attendance, to the university officials appearing with me on the podium, to our distinguished invited guests, and most of all, to the families and friends of the class of 2015, I extend my welcome to the commencement for the Northern Kentucky University Salmon P. Chase College of Law. My name is Geoffrey Standen, and I am honored to be the 15th Dean of our law school. I am also honored to offer my most heartfelt and warmest welcome to the class of 2015. This will be a great evening for you, marking the end of a long and difficult journey. Every person in this room is now fully aware of the difficulty of law school, of the sacrifice it involves, of the investment of time, treasure, and talents it requires, and of the intellectual challenges that lie ahead. It is my honor and pleasure to be your dean. Let me be the first now to ask everyone to join me in offering congratulations to you, the NKU Chase College of Law, class of 2015. As we begin our celebration, let us pause for a moment and remember two students who began this journey with us, Jared Maynard and Jacob Powers. Our memories of them and their impact on our lives will continue long after this day. Please join me in a moment of silence to honor their memories. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce the distinguished individuals on the platform. Please hold your applause until all have been introduced. Would the members of the NKU Board of Regents please stand and be recognized as I read your name? Chair Dennis Repenning. Vice Chair Elizabeth Thompson. Regent Stephen Meyer. Thank you. I would also like to recognize and ask to stand Mr. Geoffrey Mearns, President, William Hawkins, Commencement Speaker, the Honorable Michelle Keller, Justice of the Supreme Court of Kentucky, Karen Zerhusen-Kruer, Executive Director, NKU Foundation, members of the President's Cabinet, Mr. John Dunn, Vice President of the Chase Alumni Association, and members of the Chase faculty and administration. Later in the proceeding, we will also be joined by 9 Chase alumni whose family members are to graduate today and who will have the special honor of hooding their loved ones. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in recognizing the distinguished platform party. I now invite to the podium Justice Michelle Keller of the Supreme Court of Kentucky. Justice Keller, like you, is a graduate of our fine law school and is a great supporter of our students and our program. She will offer her greetings from the Kentucky Supreme Court.
Good evening, graduates, family and friends, President Mearns, Dean Standen, distinguished members of the faculty, and distinguished guests on the platform. It is my distinct honor to bring greetings and be among the first to congratulate you on behalf of Chief Justice Minton and the 6 Associate Justices of the Kentucky Supreme Court. Congratulations, this is your day. I'd also like to take just a minute to congratulate Professor Nancy Fearak, who this evening she received the Distinguished Professor Award. Professor Fearak, thank you for your scholarship. Thank you for your contributions to our school. And thank you for teaching me and helping launch me on my legal career. You are going to hear some great words of wisdom from distinguished speakers, and a fellow alumnus, Bill Hawkins, and a friend, is going to deliver a commencement speech full of wisdom to guide you along your way. I just have one thing to add to that. As you go forth tonight to celebrate this great achievement, and you all deserve to celebrate, please don't forget to honor and thank the one person that launched you literally on your career and made it possible for you to be sitting here today. On this Mother's Day weekend, if you're lucky enough to still have your mother with you, please don't forget to honor and thank her this weekend. Thank you so much.
The Chase College of Law of Northern Kentucky University is fortunate to have outstanding faculty members who daily demonstrate their commitment to the tripartite mission of the university through their teaching, research, and service. It is my distinct pleasure to ask all faculty in the Salmon P. Chase College of Law to stand and be recognized. Thank you.
Friends, let me use this grand and wonderful occasion to speak a little bit about what makes Chase special. With your legal education so fresh in mind, graduates, think back with me to what made your time at Chase memorable. What classes or professors were particularly favored by you? Did you compete on a trial team, or work on the law review, or participate in the business boot camp, or represent children in need with the Children's Law Clinic? Were you the beneficiary of one of our scholarships or grants or awards? Did you work on the Innocence Project, or represent incarcerated citizens on appeal? What I'm about to tell you may surprise you. Nearly every good thing that we have at Chase, nearly every great experience comes from the generosity and support of our alumni and our friends. Student programs, special classes and events, student scholarships and financial awards, and even much of the equipment and classrooms in our building, they're all made possible because of those who have once walked across this stage. Our alumni and friends have supported your education. Our trial teams compete due to their generosity. Our Children's Law Clinic and the other clinics operate. Our business boot camp runs. Our law review publishes. Our moot court program excels. Our centers and our institutes produce outstanding programs, and our curriculum innovates and grows, and so forth, all because our alumni and friends care about their institution. What they really care about is you. They ask about you all the time. Chase is unique. I have been in legal education for nearly 25 years, and I have never seen anything like it. You are about to join a network and be part of a group that will be unlike anything you have experienced before. Chase graduates regard their law school with reverence, and with tenderness. Every alumnus I have ever met from Chase credits Chase with his or her career success. Every Chase alumnus I have met is grateful for what Chase did for him or for her. You are about to become a Chase alumnus. Trust me, it is better than being a student. I want to congratulate you on reaching this status. Many of our alumni are here today. Many more are watching or will watch on the television or on the internet. With your permission, I want to offer my sincere thanks on your behalf to those alumni who have come before you and who have decided to extend their helping hand to this next generation of Chase graduates. Without our generous and loyal alumni, we could not offer our outstanding program of instruction. Without their support, we could not maintain an affordable legal education for our students. Without their assistance, we could not open the doors of opportunity to our graduates. Without our outstanding and loyal alumni, we would not be Chase. Congratulations to the class of 2015, our newest alumni. Graduates, let me offer one more word of gratitude on your behalf. I ask each of you now to take a moment to remember the family, the friends, and the many loved ones who helped you reach this milestone. I know so many of them are here today. Graduates, please join me in recognizing all of those who have nurtured and inspired you during this journey that is law school. Thank you.
Please welcome Mr. Joshua Hodges, President of the Student Bar Association, to the podium.
Thank you, Dean Standen, for the address. Welcome faculty, friends and family, and distinguished guests. And most of all, welcome to my classmates, the class of 2015. I only have a few minutes today, and I was advised by the powers that be that that's only enough time to talk about one thing. So with that advice in mind, I'm going to talk to you today about our differences and our similarities. Yeah, that's two things, but hey, law students are overachievers. We came to Chase from different backgrounds and at different times in our lives. Our ages range from 24 to 48. We had former teachers, business owners, college athletes, and factory workers, writers and musicians, and moms and dads. We had people who served our country in the Peace Corps, people who served our country in war, and people for which today marks their first time not being a student. People who wore suits to class and people who wore sweatpants. Many of us were at school all day long, others came at night after a long day's work. Our class had sons and daughters of Chase graduates from the past and people who were the first in their family to go to college. No doubt we have our differences. And we have different beliefs. We have Catholics, Protestants, Mormons, agnostics, and atheists, even our own class rabbi. People who think eating meat is immoral, and people who are going to a steakhouse as soon as the ceremony ends. Proponents of gun control sitting in class next to outspoken NRA members, pro-choice and pro-life, pro and anti-death penalty. People who root for the Louisville Cardinals, and those of us who will always bleed blue. And of course, Democrats and Republicans. So with all these differences, it shouldn't be a surprise that we also want to do different things with our law degree. Some of us want to jump into a courtroom, others would rather draft a contract, some don't want to practice law at all. We have people moving away to new locations after graduation, people with big city dreams, and others who would rather go back to their small hometown. Now, putting all these different people into a stressful and competitive 5-story concrete rectangle for a few years is not a disaster in the making. I'm not sure what is. But that is exactly what happened. The outcome? Well, we complained a lot. And we got on each other's nerves, and we had our little disagreements, but we figured out how to make it work. And I think that's because despite all those differences, as law students, we had some things in common. We were all often overworked, stressed, reading more than we thought humanly possible, and our hearts all skipped a beat the first time a professor called our name. Simply, it didn't really matter where we came from or how old we were when we came to Chase or any of those other differences. The simple fact was that every single one of us had a lot riding on this, and we were going through it at the same time together. And because of all that pressure, when we sat down together for our first law school exam, opened up our laptops, and stared at that little button on ExamSoft that says begin, we were all scared. I will admit that I was scared to death. But everyone here clicked that button, and we passed our exam. And we did it over and over again, semester after semester, and we jumped every other hurdle Chase College of Law put before us. In total, everyone graduating today was smart enough to get into law school. We were people willing to take a risk, sacrifice the time and the money. We're people who could handle the pressure, and we're people who do not quit. Those are our similarities. They are why we're here today, and they are why I believe we'll go out into the world and do some great things in the future. We all came to Chase with talent, determination, and a singular goal. Today we leave with our Juris Doctorates. The goal we set is complete. Now we set new goals. Good luck, and thank you.
Thank you, Josh. It is now my privilege to introduce our commencement speaker. Mr. William H. Hawkins is in the midst of a very distinguished career in law. Among his many accomplishments, he has been a partner at what is now Frost Brown Todd, Senior Vice President and General Counsel at Convergys Corporation, and is now a partner with the international law firm of Baker Hostetler. He specializes in complex commercial litigation and corporate governance. He is truly among those few who are national class lawyers in every respect. But his most outstanding professional accomplishment, in my view, was that he walked across this Chase graduation stage a few decades ago, having completed law school in our part-time evening division while working as a full-time high school teacher and basketball coach, a member of the Army Reserves, all while helping to support and raise a young and growing family. Bill Hawkins is Chase through and through. He comes from a background very similar to so many of you here today. The determination and the grit that propelled Bill through law school has served him so well in his career, just as your determination and grit will serve you. Bill's remarkable career success provides a shining example of the kind of accomplishment a Chase law degree can provide. Bill Hawkins embodies Chase in one other way. Like so many other Chase alumni, Bill cares about this institution, about the curriculum we teach, about the students we guide, and about the careers of our graduates. Bill and his spouse, Catherine, have made that care very tangible by endowing a scholarship that will pay for a legal education for a deserving Chase student, and that will continue as long as this historic and storied institution opens its doors to people who have the determination to see it through. Please welcome to the podium Mr. William H. Hawkins II.
President Mearns, Dean Standen, Justice Keller, distinguished faculty, parents, grandparents, family members, and most importantly, the 142 2015 graduating class of Salmon P. Chase College of Law. It's an honor and a privilege to be able to share this day with you. Thank you for allowing me that opportunity. I'd like to talk about three themes today, if I could. The first is to talk about the gift that you are about to receive. The second is to talk about the choices that come with that gift. And the third is the importance of recognizing that you are not alone as you begin your professional legal career. With your graduation today, you have been given a gift that had its origins in 1893 with the founding of the law school, and has been added to and built upon every year since then. I know this may seem like an odd gift to you since you've paid for it, and since you've worked 3 or 4 years to receive it today, but it's a gift nonetheless. It's a gift that gives you the opportunity to join with other Chase graduates who have come before you to represent and serve your clients and to serve the community. Your clients may be individuals, they may be a corporation, it may be a small business, it could be a government entity, a nonprofit, it could be some combination of those. That's really not the point. The point is that these clients will come to you for help in a time of crisis or to solve a problem. It doesn't matter if it's a $6 million problem or a $600 problem or a criminal matter or a family law matter. What matters is to that client at that time, it is the most important thing in the world, and so it must be for you. The opportunity for a lawyer to serve clients is a unique privilege. It's a calling, not a job. And to fulfill that calling, you must engage completely, listen actively, advise wisely, communicate effectively, advocate zealously, all the while demonstrating and adhering to the highest professional and personal ethics. In a few minutes, Dean Standen will present the Chase Award, recognizing a student's work that exemplifies the ideals, spirit, and career of Salmon P. Chase to fight for equal justice and inclusion. Whether representing a slave seeking freedom or admitting the first African American to practice before the Supreme Court, Chase made a conscious decision to be an outspoken advocate for the rights of all citizens. We may not have the opportunity to do something as historically significant as Chase, but to your clients, there is no issue that's more important than the one you're working on for them. The commitment to serve clients is an awesome responsibility, one I know that you're ready to accept, and I'm confident you will serve your clients with as much diligence and dedication as Chase served his. We are here today to celebrate your graduation from Chase. We gather at this commencement exercise not just to celebrate an ending, but to celebrate a beginning. It is, after all, called a commencement program. For it's here and now that you begin your new journey in your personal, professional life. Going forward, there will be no required courses. There'll be no core curriculum. From here on, everything is an elective. The good news for that is that you have virtually unlimited choices. The bad news, of course, is you have virtually unlimited choices. Some of those choices are personal in nature: where to live, what car to buy. Some are business related: what job opportunities to pursue, where to work. Some are much more complex. How will you adopt and adapt to change? Change, after all, is inevitable. It's constant. Will you fear it? Will you be paralyzed by it? Will you embrace it? For example, will you commit the time and energy to be a lifelong learner? That famous philosopher, Bill Nye, the science guy, said that every day you will meet someone who knows something that you don't. Will you be willing to reach out and accept that knowledge and give that knowledge a chance to make a difference in your career? Will you be a giver? Will you be a taker? Will you commit to do the right thing, even if it requires more effort? It isn't convenient or may come with a cost, personal or professional. You'll face these choices and hundreds every single day. Each decision will chart your course of your personal and professional development and ultimately will define your character and your reputation. No one can make those choices for you. I certainly can't tell you what choices to make, but maybe I can provide some insight on how to make them. The key question, I think, for you is, what is your guiding principle? What is your core philosophy? What are your beliefs? What's your faith? What's your North Star? I use the reference to the North Star intentionally. Frederick Douglass, as you know, was a freed slave and a leading abolitionist. Was a contemporary of Salmon P. Chase. His influential publication was called the North Star. The significance of that is that the slaves who were leaving the South to seek their freedom would travel at night. To guide them, they looked to the North Star. That was their beacon. That was their hope. That was their opportunity for freedom. That should also be your guide, your North Star. It makes little difference in the long run what choices others in the class make or what others who you may work with make. Those are all personal decisions, and those decisions are all about you. There's a quote from Howard Thurman that I liked, and I thought it was apropos here. Thurman says, "Don't ask yourself what the world needs. Ask yourself what makes you come alive, and then go do that. Because what the world needs is people who have come alive." What does that mean in the context of choices to you? I believe many people make choices based on fear disguised as practicality. You can fail at what you don't want to do, so you may as well take a chance on doing what you love. If you're able to identify your passion, your joy, and have the courage to point yourself in that direction and go forward, you are well on your way to being a success. Why? Well, because you'll be energized, enthusiastic, grounded in the choices you make, and committed to those choices. Let me share one example from the career of Salmon P. Chase that I hope will emphasize the idea of choices and how those choices can shape your career and indeed ultimately shape your reputation. As you probably know, Chase was very political. Lincoln described him as having a bad case of White House fever. He wanted nothing more than to be President of the United States. That did not go away when he was appointed Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. But after Chase's appointment, Abraham Lincoln was assassinated, and Andrew Johnson, a Democrat from Tennessee, became President of the United States. Well, soon thereafter, in a political upheaval, Johnson was impeached. As Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, Chase presided over that impeachment in the Senate. On the one side were the radical Republicans who did not like Johnson as a Southern Democrat who was in favor of Reconstruction. On the other side were the traditional Democrats. That was the party of Chase, the party that he had grown up with. Chase decided to conduct the impeachment hearings as an impartial judge rather than allowing the proceedings to become a political spectacle. He succeeded in infuriating both sides. The decision by Chase to move forward doomed his presidential hopes in 1868 and thereafter, denying him the lifelong dream to sit in the White House, but ensuring that the rule of law would be followed under the most difficult partisan circumstances. The point is that all choices matter. My hope for you is that your choices will be deliberate and thoughtful, and most importantly, be consistent with your core principles and the high ideals demanded of you as a member of this profession. Let me emphasize one last point, as the third point of the trilogy, if you will. You are not alone as you start this journey. Dean Standen said it, the Chase community is unique. Your relationship with the school and with each other doesn't end today. Since 1893, Chase has graduated 6,712 graduates. You're part of that heritage now. Chase graduates are successful lawyers, business leaders, judges, elected officials, public servants, and educators, each one with a shared Chase Law School experience. I'm convinced that this experience is special and in many ways unique. Many of these successful people have remained in the area. Some have moved away, but they all have one thing in common. They've stayed connected to the law school. It's been my experience that these people are available to provide advice, support, and guidance. A simple example, recently, Dean Standen convened the Board of Visitors meeting, a group of alumni who have agreed to support the law school. I think he sent out 32 invitations. There were 32 people in the room when we met, 2 people who were unavoidably, one traveling and one, I believe, otherwise engaged in front of the good Justice Keller. 30 out of 32 showed up on a Friday afternoon to spend 2.5 hours working to support the law school, sharing ideas, sharing their time, sharing their talents. After that, a group went to the Reds game to share the community of being part of the Chase Law School alumni group. I think that's unique and very special. Each of you are very accomplished, each of you are very well educated, but it's possible, and I say just possible, that you don't know everything there is to know about the practice of law. There's one thing I'm sure of as I stand here: you can't Google how to practice law. And I know because I've tried on more than one occasion. I recognize that this class is noted for its adoption and use of technology. For that, you're to be commended. But if I can, a word of caution. Technology makes a wonderful servant. It makes a terrible master. It can make you more productive, better prepared, more efficient. It can also be a distraction. It can leave you overwhelmed. It can leave you isolated from the very people that you have chosen to serve. A recent study I looked at in preparing my remarks today said that people check their cell phones, younger people perhaps a little more often, but the average is 6.5 minutes we check our cell phones. That means, I've been up here about 12 minutes, that means you've either tried to sneak a peek or you're dying to sneak a peek at your cell phone. The corollary to that study is that every time you are distracted, it takes 15 minutes to fully re-engage in the task at hand. If you do that math real quick, they overlap. Technology can facilitate communication, but it can also demand immediate responses when a thoughtful, reflective approach is called for. It can create artificial deadlines, denying you the opportunity to think and seek guidance or collaboration. So I would urge you to think about how technology can serve you and serve your clients, serve your colleagues, and make a conscious, deliberate decision as to how you will use that to support your career as you go forward. That leads me really to my last point, a corollary, if you will. I would urge you to be open and actively seek collaboration. Collaboration can take many forms, but if done properly, can provide insights you could not see alone, wisdom you may not have achieved, and guidance at a critical time. There's a great quote from Charles Darwin. It says, "In the long history of humankind, those who have learned to collaborate most effectively have prevailed and always will." So if you've not thought about active collaboration, I would urge you to do so. Everyone on this dais today would tell you the exact same thing if you asked them. I could not have done what I've done without the support of a colleague or a mentor. Someone to help guide you through difficult times, provide support, provide a sounding board when difficult questions or issues arise. This collaboration could take many forms. In law school, it may have been a study group. In an office, it may be an informal lunch group, or it may be more formal. I would urge you to seek both, an informal group of confidants and a more formal mentor-type relationship. Your mentor could be a professional colleague, a professor, a family member, a friend, a judge, or any number of other people. But in my experience, it is absolutely critical that you have that personal counsel you can turn to seek guidance and hopefully get that guidance before you leap. I'm lucky enough tonight to have my mentor in the room. In conclusion, I've tried to discuss three themes today: the gift that you've been given, the choices that come with that gift, and to emphasize that you are not alone as you start your professional career. So what does all this mean to you? Well, as you accept the gift that is being given to you today, be thoughtful and deliberate in the choices that you make. Be committed to your true north, your North Star, and follow that direction. Seek help and support when needed. Give help and support when you can. There's a famous quote that says, "Success is the key to happiness." I think that's exactly backwards. We know a lot of people who are successful. They have things. They've been recognized. I think the quote should be exactly the opposite. Happiness is the key to success. So as you commence your legal career, I and the entire Chase community wish you the happiness and fulfillment that comes from using the gifts that you've been given, following your North Star, and living a life beyond yourself. Thank you for letting me share this time with you.
Chase College of Law is extremely proud to call Bill Hawkins an alumnus. Could Mr. Hawkins please return to the podium? On behalf of the Chase College of Law, I would like to present you with a small token of our deep appreciation for your support and commitment to the law school and for your inspiring words this evening. It is now my honor to present the Salmon P. Chase Award. This award is in the form of a likeness of a silver pitcher. The real pitcher, which is housed in the Cincinnati Museum Center and is numbered among the museum's most valuable artifacts, was given to our namesake, Chief Justice Salmon P. Chase, by the African American community in Cincinnati in recognition of Chase's stalwart advocacy on behalf of freed slaves. Chase's silver pitcher and the award given today in its honor has drawn the attention of our nation's current Chief Justice, Mr. John Roberts. Chief Justice Roberts, in speaking about our law school and our law school's Chase Award, has said that graduates of this law school should, like Chief Justice Chase himself, and I quote, "bring discipline, integrity, skill, and courage to your labors, and couple those virtues with a sense of public service and a personal commitment to justice." Today we bestow the Chase Award on a graduate of the class of 2015 who exemplifies the ideals embodied in the life of Salmon P. Chase and represented by the silver pitcher and spoken of by Chief Justice Roberts. This graduating student has spent her summers representing indigent defendants in the Commonwealth of Kentucky and her final year in law school working with the Ohio Justice and Policy Center. She has been a tenacious advocate for the unfortunate and represents an outstanding recipient of the Salmon P. Chase Award. Please join me in congratulating Ms. Hannah Elizabeth Rogers, NKU Chase, class of 2015.
Thank you so much, Dean Standen, for selecting me for this award, and to the friends and fellow students and faculty who nominated me for it. Thank you to David Singleton for teaching me how to truly advocate for clients that no one else wants. Sorry. And thank you to my family for supporting me through law school and teaching me to always help those in need by doing whatever I can and not expecting recognition in return. Salmon P. Chase was a powerful advocate, and he fought tirelessly for those who, without him, would not have had a voice and who would have been cast aside. I'm truly honored to accept this award in his honor, and I hope to have a fraction of the effect on the legal world that he did. Thank you all again.
Please welcome Mr. Geoffrey Mearns, President of Northern Kentucky University, to the podium.
Thank you very much, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is a privilege to serve as the President of Northern Kentucky University, and as a lawyer, it is a real pleasure to have an opportunity to say just a few words to our graduates this evening. You, the graduating class of 2015, you are a part of a tradition of excellence that has characterized this law school for more than 100 years. There are 142 of you this evening, including our December graduates. Of that number, 38 of them are graduating with honors. 38 of you, 23 as cum laude, 7 as magna cum laude, and 8 as summa cum laude. And as you know, the cords that you are wearing this evening reflect your academic accomplishments. But many of you have been involved in other activities as well. You've been publishing 2 of our law school journals. You've been involved in our outstanding moot court program and our trial advocacy programs. And many more of you were involved in student organizations and other activities. And in addition to those achievements, members of this graduating class donated thousands of hours to pro bono activities and to other community service. And we know then, individually and collectively, you have worked hard and accomplished a great deal, and for that we are so very proud of each one of you. We also know that because of the education and the skills that you've obtained here, that you are well prepared for the challenges and the opportunities that await you. And so as you embark upon that career and make the choices that Mr. Hawkins described, let me give you just a few suggestions, if I may, and I'll be brief. First, always remember that you must put your client's interests before your own personal self-interest. As a lawyer, that is your professional duty. But never forget that what your client wants to do and what the law permits may not always be the same thing. And so at all times, it is your ethical obligation to speak the truth and to obey the law, irrespective of your client's demands or expectations. Always remember that every case is important to your client. While a matter may seem routine or inconsequential to you, every case matters to your client. So therefore, I ask you, commit yourself to excellence in every case, every day. But always remember, as we've heard just a moment ago, that a lawyer's obligation is to serve both private interests and the public good. So no matter how you choose to earn a living, please become involved in public service by providing pro bono legal services or volunteering with charitable organizations or civic associations. But one other thing. As lawyers, we have another special obligation. We have a special obligation to use our voice. This country was founded on the principle of equal justice for all. So in addition to your professional responsibility to seek justice for your clients, remember that as lawyers, you also have a moral obligation to speak out against any injustice. Don't shrink from this obligation. Instead, I urge you to embrace it. And please also remember that within each one of you, there is some special motivation that brought you to our law school and which brings you to this place at this special time. You've overcome obstacles, you've worked hard. There are going to be challenges and disappointments in the days to come. So never forget the dream that brings you here. When you feel discouraged, recall that aspiration, recall your dream, and pursue that dream with an unrelenting passion. And then finally, on a personal note, never forget to show your affection and your appreciation for your family and for your friends, and for all of the other people in your lives who have helped you become the talented women and men that you are. And so honor their gifts to you and repay the debt that you owe to them by sharing your talents and your good fortune with others who need you. So I say, embrace service, value excellence, seek justice, pursue your dreams, and cherish your family and friends. And I wish you great good luck. Thank you.
This evening's musical interlude, Cherry Juice, will be performed by the NKU Jazz Ensemble under the direction of William Bryan Hogg.
Thank you, Mr. Hogg and the NKU Jazz Ensemble. That was terrific. Thank you. Mr. President, it is now my privilege to present the women and men who have successfully completed the requirements for the degree of Juris Doctor.
So being president of Northern Kentucky University is a great job, and one of the reasons it's a great job is because at every commencement ceremony, I get to say the words that everyone came to hear. So would all of the graduates please rise? Ladies and gentlemen, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Commonwealth of Kentucky through the Board of Regents of Northern Kentucky University, I hereby confer upon you the degree of Juris Doctor. I now declare you a graduate of the Salmon P. Chase College of Law of Northern Kentucky University. Congratulations.
Good afternoon. Is everyone ready to hear the names of these graduates? Here we go. Isaac L. Abner. Nicholas S. Anderson. Heather Elizabeth Andress. Zachary P. Baber. Dean Alexander Bakoven. Ashley Brooke Barber. Charles Robert Barrowman III. Mark A. Bernstein. Patsy A. Bradbury. Kathleen V. Brady. Matthew Bashir. Stephanie Marshall Bridges. Adam M. Brown, cum laude. Terrence Brown, cum laude. Samantha M. Buckholtz. Adrienne D. Buckler. Christopher D. Burgess. Amber Denise Burton, summa cum laude. Alethea Tay Buskin, cum laude. Benjamin T. Campbell. Jessica E. Campbell, cum laude. Tracy Michelle Carr. Lucas W. Casey. Kent A. Chandler. Alexandra Mary Clark. Caitlin E. Connor. Amy Elizabeth Kraft. Greg L. Crutcher, cum laude. Daniel T. Dieters. Jonathan T. Dieters. Kevin J. Dinkelacker. Justin L. Duncan. Michael W. Durbo, Michael W. Durbo. You know, I asked him how to say this. I should be able to do it. Michael W. Durborough, magna cum laude. Michael T. English. Michael J. Ensweiler, summa cum laude. Joseph D. Farley, summa cum laude.
Alan W. Fallhaber. Mackenzie M. Fennell. Levi A. Fisher. Logan L. Forsyth. Freeman, cum laude. Tracy Leanne Gaddy. Thomas M. Gazinski. Lauren B. Gibson Hartman. Anne Marie Gordon. David Allen Graff. Jared N. Grandy. Michael Gray. Benjamin S. Greenberg. Erica L. Groman. Diane M. Hagg. Nancy Sloniger Hancock. Sarah J. Hartley. Andrew D. Hawes. Erin Margaret Heydrich, summa cum laude. Sierra Dawn Helfenstein. Nils J. Herdlin. Cody Duane Hibbard. Samantha Marie Hill. Joshua Dane Hodges, magna cum laude. Kayla Hauser. Lily Mae Hubbard. Allison A. Hudson. Cameron Mark Huxley. Anthony M. Iori. John Robert Janik.
Kevin M. Keegan. Matthew James Karras. Samantha A. Kenninger, summa cum laude. Richard Scott Lonazak, cum laude. Stephen G. Lawson, cum laude. Jessica L. Lewis. Scott L. Lichtenthal, magna cum laude. Rayanne Victoria Leonetti, magna cum laude. Maria Yambi. Kara Hagen-Lyons, summa cum laude. Michael F. Madden. Richard Chandler Mays. Margaret Carol McKay. Paige A. McKee, cum laude. Stephanie Nicole McMillan. Michelle Nicole Metzler, cum laude. Eric M. L. Meisner. Benjamin V. Malozzi. Daniel T. Monk. Peter James Montgomery. Jordan Wesley Morgan. Brian A. Morris, summa cum laude. Moira A. Mulligan. Caitlin G. Myron. Lindsay D. Oaks. Daniel S. Osborne. Richard M. Pandorf, magna cum laude. John Wilmot Patterson. Tyler C. Porter. Adam C. Potts. Emily S. Prem. Joseph J. Prem, cum laude. Bridget A. Quitter.
Benjamin S. Ramsey. Leanne Tomlinson Roberts, cum laude. Eric V. Robinson. Hannah Elizabeth Rogers. Charles F. Rogers. Matthew Kenneth Ryan. Adam P. Sandifer, cum laude. Tyler W. Sawyer, cum laude. Sarah Jean Schulte. Catherine M. Schultz. Joseph R. Schwan. Gilbert Singletary. Rachel Nicole Smallwood. Hannah Elizabeth Smith. Gerald Victor Southard. Sarah G. Steen, cum laude. Bradley James Steffen, cum laude. Jordan Tyler Steiner, cum laude. Wallace C. Stone, cum laude. Courtney Risk Straw, cum laude. Kirk C. Terrell. Lauren Van Sickle. Buddy J. Van Cleve. Roger Derek Vanover. Whitney L. Waller. J. R. Wampler. Kathleen E. Watson, magna cum laude. Aaron Lee Weber. Marcy Wilkinson, magna cum laude. Kevin L. Wilson.
Would the class of 2015 please stand? Ladies and gentlemen, please join me to congratulate the class of 2015 Chase College of Law. Please be seated. Please be seated. As promised, this ceremony has been a terrific celebration of a huge achievement by you, our graduates. On behalf of the faculty and administration at the NKU Chase College of Law, it has been our privilege and our delight to work with you and educate you these past few years. We like you. Please don't be a stranger. Come back and visit. Help us maintain and improve everything that we do. Chase is a special place, and we are special because you are special. Congratulations to the class of 2015.
Will you please rise for the singing of our alma mater, led by Brittany Berry, Caitlin Kelly, Calvin Horner, and Quentin Bonds. The words of the alma mater are on the back cover of your printed program.
Northern, let your vision lead us, hearts of women, men, and youth. Help us seek the higher virtues, guide us to the greater truth. Northern, northern alma mater, may our lives and better far than when we came.
That concludes our commencement ceremony. Please remain standing while the platform party and graduates leave the hall. Thank you.